Leonidas. Drops the stun, and drops the full ult. Oh my goodness, look at the health bars. It's a quad kill.
Should find the kill. Lunara will clean up that fight. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It is going to be Soul Shield. You gotta be kidding me. Raw to take the 3v1. Gets one. Looking for the second. Crispy is popping off. Crispy.
Like that wizard may connect with 4 people.
Oh, Lady Ronin! Oh my goodness, what a chat!
That was really good.
There is going to be some point this season where I actually remember to update what division the teams are, as well as apparently the title of my stream, before I actually click the start streaming button. Anyway, welcome to tonight's cast. You are with the O-Line Boss casting once again another Nexus Gaming Series match. This time we're looking at Division E East with a game the match between FC Hong Kong and Phoenix Rising Sapphire. I'm your host, O-Line Boss, and we see here we are going to Battlefield of Eternity first, as I say most maps. I don't know who had picked map pick and who had picked first pick. That's something I don't look into for replay casts, as I don't like really spoiling myself for series. Things to note here before we get into it is there were map bans of Dragon Shy and Sky Temple by FC Hong Kong, and Phoenix Rising Sapphire banned Towers of Doom and Baraxis Holdout, unless I got something very wrong. Anyway, I have loaded up the match in advance, so I'm going to pop it over in-game and we'll get this show on the road. Right. On the left-hand side for this Battlefield of Eternity map, we have Nemeth. Oh gosh, he's moving so fast. Nemeth Ode on the Tychus, RKG Dax on the Anduin, Tiny Notai on the... I can't remember her name.
10 seconds.
Vala. Double Dam on the... Double L Dam on the Tyke. Oh my gosh, my brain is losing my mind. That's not a good sentence. On the ETC, and we see Geo on the... Oh my gosh, it's not heroes I see often. Frawl on the right hand side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. We have Atlantis AL on the Tennis. We have the Boomer 444 on the Anubarak. Diffin maybe? On the Pew Pew Man Raynor. Kizzy on... Okay, I need to mute that. Kizzy on the, I can't remember his name, Stukov, and side piece on the, wow, my brain is losing my mind once again. Ah, Li Ming, there we go, got Prevail in the end, my word, that was a struggle, but that is what that is. As I just need to go over here and click a few buttons, so I'm not getting notifications during this. Yeah, that will be going back into this. As you can see, there's a little bit of attrition going on from this bottom lane. And actually, Raynor has moved top to steal that top camp. It'll be interesting to see if he has scouted out at any point, as we do have just a little fight between Geo and Atlantis AL down, well, up top, just below Raynor. But it should be noted that Raynor is missing. No one's seen him in a while from the blue team, but it is too late. Even if they did realize then, that is already that camp taken as well. Geo was a bit preoccupied, thank you to Atlantis, on that Artanis. But in the meantime, we do see bots getting pushed in relatively well. Double L Dam is getting pressured out a bit by Raynor, and the DPS of side piece yet isn't going to quite go down. As Invo ETC is one of the squishier tanks, so to speak, they do at least have their armor that they can gain on demand, as well as healing on demand. It looks like they did go into Prog Rock as their level 1, which is bigger healing the more globes they get, as well as we see Puncturing Arrow from the Vala is the other major quest. On the right hand side, we do see actually quite a race heavy team, as well. Li Ming is known for having pretty good race with her Qs and her Ws. Raynor with Exterminator pretty good, as well as Artanis with not Protector Vio, Amateur Opponent, doing 150% damage on his Ws to the Immortals. But in saying that, we will have a decent amount of race coming in at level 7 for FC Hong Kong. They really need Vala to come online with Monster Hunter before they can really start picking up the pace. But even then, we should get a decent amount out of the the Tiger should get a decent amount, as well as ETC can do a lot. Yeah, as Root coming out, Boomer does have to use his E to get out as well. He will go down otherwise. Tiny Notai is getting relatively low as well, but will have to back out. And we do see the blue team taking over that first objective. And then we just look back down here as well. We do see that the red team have already started a race, and they're actually tearing through that pretty well. Because even Stukov, pretty good race here, as well. That's just one of the beefier autos in the game. Kizzy just showing that off. Just each slap, you just see it drop just a little chunk by a little chunk, and my mouse is losing its mind. Gonna have to replace that soon enough. And here we see, yep, the blue team's looking too aggressive. RKG Dax is stepping up in front of Boomer 444. Not in front of his own tank, double dam, I should say. And actually, that is a mortal taken, and that will be a lot of damage. Isn't quite going to be able to finish off the Nubrak. Nubrak looking to go back in, actually just throws out some instead. Atlantis AL does get hit by Anduin's Root, will not fall, and it looks like we are just getting the blue team is going to choose to pull out and just defend, as that is a almost full shield immortal to start off the ground for the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. But no blood as of yet, so we're interested to see where we go moving into this kind of next little phase. And EC hits them. Oh, double, no! That's just, yeah, a lot of damage coming out. We don't see a front line yet. Boomer 444 is only just getting back now. Then Nubrak can just make any stun kind of a bit deadly. As well, a double stun from Nubrak can be a death sentence, especially with things such as Li Ming, who can follow up with her combos, which hit like a truck, or not even a truck, more like a train or a plane or anything that'll make you go insane. Anyway, we do just get that duel once again. Down bottom, we just want to see how that's going. It's not the easiest for Artanis. Sorry. My goal, as I pointed out other seasons, just give the offline some love. It's not the easiest matchup for Artanis, as Geo is statting into the percent damage. As you can see, he has Rolling Thunder and Central Wrath, both things that do percent damage, and we can see actually Atlantis' health drops quite low there. Meanwhile, there is a fight going on top, and it looks like that will be EC going down first, as that counter engage will take down that Rockin' Gal. And that is a... I got too distracted by the offline, that's on me. And that is First Blood going over to the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. And looks like they're rotating down to just, I don't know, get pressure on, because now Geo's seeing the enemy team rotate down. They know they're not actually wanting to be taken out here. Just not something you need done now, especially because Immortals should be getting called relatively shortly, maybe within the next 30 seconds or so. So it should be interesting to see where we go from here, but there is definitely now a lot of macro pressure coming out from the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire, and we do have a nice slide coming out from EC. However, Boomer very quick to react, did get that slide, and as I said, within 30 seconds, those Immortals will be spawning. And I'd like to welcome you to the stream. And yeah, from what I've seen so far, Dorfster, Geo is doing very well on the Brawl, but Atlantis is just being quite annoying themselves on that Artanis. And now we get a lot of siege coming in bot. Neither camp's up for another 40 seconds or so that will be a while till that can come through. Notai does actually manage to slide out. There is no escape for Boomer. Boomer doesn't have that E. However, there's no escape for ETC either, as they will fall again. And that is a second kill going over the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire, and now they just start their race, and my god, is it a quick burn. Geo going up there to see what they can do to stall. Not the best idea to stay around. And let's see, nope, they will not get punished so for it. We just looks like they're considering just having a straight up race. Yep, looks like they're just choosing a race, and there's not really too much more going to happen there as well. That was very quick by the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. And that will be the second Immortal also going to Phoenix Rising. And we do have 10s even come through them. We see Cocoon from Nubarak. Swailing Fright. Double LTM actually gets an excellent push on them. Actually, there's Boomer going down. Sure, they managed to get the Cocoon out onto the Vala, but Vala didn't actually quite fall in time and does put down a Rain of Vengeance as a... Nope, heck you. Anyway, we do now have Immortal Fence under that tower. Diffim taking shots. Probably just due to that Hyperion hitting people under the tower, and he just having to step under at the same time. blind coming out from Artanis with that suppression pulse. And we do also have that repulsion from Li Ming and flailing swipes from Stukov. And that will be that first fort taken by the red team. Speaking of ults, on the other hand, we have Light Bomb by Anduin. Tychus went Commandeer Odin. Earthquake from Thrall. Oh, we got a stage dive from the ETC. And actually, that is Thrall down up top. I was not watching that because I was too busy looking at people way down here. Stage dive from ETC and that Rain of Vengeance from Vala. And that will actually be a second fort going to be taken by the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. So it's looking quite clean currently. And meanwhile, we have Diffim taken that top camp. And now we have Shaman also being taken by the side of FC Hong Kong. So they're still doing their best to stay in it. They're keeping up what they can in terms of pressure. And you can see it is still quite a close game. Both teams are going to kills at this point. The blue team of FC Hong Kong is still quite close. There is not even a full level difference in terms of XP. Honestly, that's APM, that's not XP. There's the XP breakdown, as it is pretty close. And, well, it looks like we may be getting a 5-man fight. Thrall is going to be patient. Nope, Thrall is just throwing out abilities, drops the Earthquake, is quite disconnected from the rest of the team, does get hit by Geo. That is stage dive coming out. Light Bomb actually hits Boomer. Boomer going down first, Double L Dam doing their best to continue with the isolation of the rest of the team. However, it will just be Boomer going down, despite Stukov getting hit with the first CC of that fight. And it looks like Geo will be going to defend top to make sure that Shaman doesn't get too much value. Speaking of value, we are now getting EC sliding in early. Side piece actually does have to use their blink to get out of it. Dax pulls Double Dam out. The blind comes out from Atlantis AL, but however doesn't quite find home on anyone in terms of meaningful damage, but will definitely annoy everyone. And that's almost a win in itself. Dax does actually get swapped in by Artanis. Artanis actually hitting an excellent swap there. Double Dam taking a decent amount of damage, as we do see that is... Actually, no, it's not. It hungers at level 1 for Stukov. It's actually the... reactive Ballista Spores. And we see 13 advantage is actually here for the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. So what FC Hong Kong need to do is either A, get 13 or B, find the Immortal, and it looks like they will go for that B option as stun comes out on the Boomer as well as Atlantis AL. Light Bomb coming out. Double actually manages to hit that stun on both people just before that web wrap comes down. Geo steps into orc position with the ETC and does see EC fall for their kind of sins as they hit a rather big combo coming out of that web wrap. And that's just the strength from Cocoon there. Just any coordinated follow-up and they will melt. Nice double root from Dax. We do actually see that he has been stacking Piercing Light since level 4 and we do have 5 stacks now. That being an extra 5% spell power bonus, meaning all healing and damage abilities will be 5% stronger. Actually, we do see that the blue team has managed to make red back up, but it is more so that Phoenix Rising Sapphire do have the advantage and they want to make sure they don't do anything unnecessarily throwy, so to speak. So they're just getting their resources back so they can push in. Excellent slide for Double Dam does push Diffin back in. Reynold actually barely getting out, looking at the use of that stutter step. There's actually EC going down again. Not quite wanting to see Nematode and Geo having to get out. Will the Hyperion take him out? Drops down to 35, but will not quite go down. Hyperion doing a lot that fight. And just the red team seem almost impenetrable for this game. We do see that there have been a couple of kills for blue team still, but it's not out of the woods yet. Geo just gets Light Bomb on them, but does just choose to escape. Dax now in an orc position, will get double stunned by Boomer very likely. Doesn't get hit by the swap. We do see the Rain of Vengeance actually coming out from Vala, appealing for their team. If that means everyone's able to get out safely enough, sure, it's likely going to be Immortal going over to the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire for this third phase, but at least the team of FC Hong Kong were able to slow down any unnecessary snowball and are going to be able to have still a full team for defense here, even if it will be just 4 of them. Things to note, as we're getting further into the game, we do actually see Vala is 17 stacks on her base on her level 1 quest, Puncturing Arrow, so we'll be hitting a fair bit harder at this point. I can't do maths. 6 times 17, someone 60... 106 more damage per Q. Doesn't feel right, 108 maybe. Anyway, you see Cubo coming out onto the Immortal as that Hungering Arrow. Yep, Monster Hunter will do more to that, because we do see now the red team pushing in, and now we do have a full 5-man defense from blue as well, so it will be a full 5-5 coming out here. Double L Dam does get hit by that Immortal stun, does get swapped in by Tannis, does use swap, and then also Anduin does pull for the last little bit of the legs, meaning Double L Dam will get to live just that bit longer. Raynor is, however, unfortunately having a problem where Hyperion is hitting people, and he is going to get hit by the tower for that. However, that is a keep now for Phoenix Rising Sapphire, as well as the Immortal does get a little bit of hits, a few hits onto core, yet it won't matter in the end, well, just because it's got shield him, baby. It's not going to get hurt by that little bit of damage coming through. It's a grown-up core. It has shields, unlike the Arium cores, who are not grown up at all and just don't have shields. Which is good, because honestly, otherwise should be at Arium for about 20 years. Heaven forbid. Anyway, we do have macro continuing for both sides now as well. The red team of Phoenix Rising Sapphire has now that kind of momentum advantage. They have the level, they have all the structures so far, and a camp pushing top, which is not going to be in blue team Sapphire by any team. They did maybe consider taking that bottom siege, but nope, the red team of Phoenix Rising Sapphire there first, and they are not wanting to take that fight down talents and choose just to defend so far, playing very safe as a 5-man. Thing is, as we get into this late game of the stage, it will be very close as to who has the better team fight per se. Li Ming is always a monster, especially with her Calamity build, which she has elected to go. But the thing about people such as Tychus and Vala, they are also monsters in of themselves and can melt any frontline. And the thing about, I was going to say Boomer, which is not true. What I meant to say is, the thing about Anubarak, which Boomer is playing, is he is very squishy for a tank. Even more so into things such as Vala and Tychus. Tychus with his % damage on his trait, and Vala just being an all-round nuisance. But yes, we will have what appears to be a fight breaking out. Ooh, what are we going to do here, Phoenix Rising? You're just going to race as you have been? You don't need a fight. You've shown that you have amazing race. And it looks like they will be continuing that amazing race as well. That's already a quarter of the Immortal gone, while the red team of Phoenix Rising, not Phoenix Rising, as the red team of FC Hong Kong is just cleaning up and actually getting that experience in it. And they actually managed to do more than half damage before the halftime show, which just means, well, Li Ming got an excellent combo right at the exact moment it went to pop. And now we do see Double pushing in, does get hit with that web wrap, so they can't do too much more. They will be back in a few moments. That was excellent time by Boomer. There's actually, Boomer pushed away and will go down first. You see does stage dive in the back, does get slapped out as Artanis does look for that swap. Nementoad gets very low. Li Ming Orb not quite finding home. And now we've got an awkward defense here for the... Oh, Diffim, why? Nope, Diffim does back out. But this is still, again, a very awkward defense for the side of FC Hong Kong. They need to stop Li Ming really doing anything. They almost did. They almost got that kill. Diffim considering stepping back up. They managed to dodge the orb, and actually Vivala is doing a lot to catch up and race, so just keep in mind she's doing that, but is out of mana. That will stifle what she can do. Double doing her best to eat everything. They actually managed to stop it once again. That doesn't quite do damage to Mortals if I remember, and Diffim very much wants it. You can see the team's trying. It is barely holding on with 75. That is just a tickle, and that will be going down. As once again, Immortal going over to the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire, this time in the bottom lane. That was almost a wonderful defense by FC Hong Kong. Just the damage had been done at that point, and there wasn't too much they could do to slow down the oncoming tide that was Phoenix Rising Sapphire that fight. However, both teams still close. There's a level in it. Sure, that is a slight advantage for Phoenix Rising Sapphire, but you're still pushing into the enemy structures. There is a high chance that something interesting will happen here, whether it be the end of the game one way or a turnaround that FC Hong Kong is needing in the other. So let's see where we go from here. The new break notes Impale is ready in 5 seconds. Very important to know that is one of his major stunts. There's Hyperion. I'd like to see someone just get hit by one of these shots. Step in. Yep, we saw it for a brief moment. There's Light Bomb that went out, didn't quite find home on anyone. And Atlantis AL did get warmed. We do see people backing up as we do see that Immortal is on core. Tiny Notai does get pushed in. Doesn't quite get hit by the Nubrex stun. However, RKG, Dax, and Double L damn well. Boomer was stunned in the first instance. However, will get cocooned for it. That Punisher, sorry, Immortal still doing a lot. That was actually, however, defense coming out. Phoenix Rising not able to get anything done there. Double L damn does go in. Doesn't quite get hit by Boomer's stun as was able to slide over the stun itself. And we do see blue team chasing a little bit. But they can't really afford to do that when they're having Catters as well as minions on core, and they do appear to just back out from that engagement. Stubble just going to push him away? Nice. Oh, versus still close enough? Oh, shots may have just came out at the same time. Also, welcome to the stream. Fascinating. And now we see, well, the red team is just wanting to paint it red. They have run of a map, they have run of experience, they will even have 20s first. They just want to keep up their macro pressure. Meanwhile, I do like blue is still doing their best to make sure something is done in there for them. Just because they don't want to run themselves into the ground and just be stuck in the middle of nowhere. As we see they're now just doing their best to get experience and get up there. However, full level behind, or more than a level behind the red side is not something you want to very much toy around with. As we're just going to have an eye on the red team just going to their own tank camp. And looks like the blue team, FC Hong Kong, wanting to take a fight now before everything goes down. We do see an excellent double stun coming out onto the Nubrak. Nubrak, however, won't quite fall as they do. No, they do actually go down. However, there's a double kill now for the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire as that Li Ming can snowball like that. Double R damage back out. Geo getting very low, does drop the Earthquake in the last instance. Nementoad does also have to back out, is running away. Does get pushed out by Side P. Side P is not able to push him back in to continue their kind of murder spree. However, a Li Ming with Illusionist is not an easy Li Ming to run down, because it looks like they'll be running them down. And actually it looks like it will be an end call as well for the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. As Double L Dam does get pressured out, Nementoad also just taking a decent amount of damage for even just stepping up into the enemy team. And that looks to be shield down. The 4 members looking a bit scared of Phoenix Rising, but however, is done. And that will be the first map of Infernal Shrines. Battlefield of Eternity going over to the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. Good first round. And right, I'm going to switch it over to my game summary screen. Let's click this button, click this button. I always like noting healers as well. Healers and offlaners are two of my favorite kind of roles. Healers very close in terms of healing numbers. Very close in terms of damage as well. Dax pulling up a little bit more siege. However, Stukov did also do a lot of damage to the Immortal. So not too much to really say there. On that, we do see Raynor and Li Ming did a lot of damage. That's just how it goes. Fraud did actually have a little bit more soak as well as general siege and hero damage over in Artanis as well. So I did like Geo. I did like Fraud the offlane there. It was doing very well. Especially he did lean into that percent damage build if I remember correctly. But just in general, here's the stats for anyone who likes those. And here are the talents. Puncturing Arrow was getting up there at the end, but wasn't quite enough, especially as the Vala did fall at first for the side of FC Hong Kong in that kind of final engagement. Things to note here that are interesting to me. Raynor going execute orders, considering they hadn't really fallen by that point, but I guess any death timer cooldown is a good kind of cooldown. But yeah, we did see Piercing Light, we see Prog Rock, 2 major quests, ETC again, not ETC, Frawl did lean into that full percent build, where we get Rolling Thunder, Ancestral Wrath, Alpha Wolf, all talents that give percent damage. And we did see it means he was able to kind of win the fights against Artanis at least early on until people started messing with those 1v1s. Anyway, what I'm going to do for a brief moment is I'm going to put myself on break while I just get the next map prepared. So I'll see all you in just a few moments. And we're back. We actually have the second map available, being Tomb of the Spider Queen. Not everyone's favorite, definitely not mine, but a lot of people do enjoy it, so not to Delhi, but so we shall get into that game. And before I actually push play on the replay, I'm just going to briefly show this boy, because I love showing this boy. Because fun fact, there's just a beetle here. No reason, he's just there. Always at the beginning of each map, he's just chilling. Just so you know. Anyway, let us get things going as I'm going to click this button as the replay gets started. On the left-hand side of FC Hong Kong, we have Geo on the... I can never remember Thrall's name. Thrall, once again, RKG Dax on the... Oh, heroes always break my brain sometimes. Why am I? I'm just staring at him dancing. Just like, yeah, he's on the dancing hero. He is on that dancing hero. No, it is actually just Decade. Tiny Code... I can't read people when spinning so much. Tiny Konai is on that. Sylvanas, Double O Dam on the Diablo, and Nementode on the Tychus. And on the right hand side, we see Atlantis AL on the Blaze. Side piece on the... Oh, that's something also we don't see very often outside of Braxis, but we do indeed see them on that Gul'dan. Kizzy on the Rhaegar. Boomer 444 on the Variant, which I can only imagine is going to be the Taunt variant, as well as Diffim on the Vala, as we actually get a lot of damage coming out from that first fight. As Tiny Konai and Double O Dam take a decent amount. Does give a charge on the side piece, not hitting the stun. Speaking about hitting stuns, Atlantis AL hits a very large one. Double O Dam has to back up into Decade's Potion, but they are able to get out safely. And there's a lot of damage going out for the blue team, or onto the blue team, as the red team kind of wins that engagement and is able to turn that to their favor. Nice grenade by Tychus, but we do see that now. That's an excellent route. We do see, actually, bottom. That is first blood going over the side of... And second blood, I was happy to manage to clear out that grenade, as that was very good. Both first and second blood going over to the side of FC Hong Kong, as now they actually have a rotation advantage, despite being down early on. To get a charge going out onto Boomer 444. As Boomer does start to go down, and that will be just a lot of damage coming out. And that's a quick triple kill over the side of FC Hong Kong, but it's still early game, so that experience, those kills don't really mean much in terms of experience. However, the thing to note here is variant comps don't really come online up until level 4. Level 4 is where he will get taunt, and where he starts to punish people a lot harder than they are currently. I should know, they played taunt variant for a while, and boy howdy, up until 4 you're just kind of like, please guys don't fight too much. But then, boom! Level 4 you just start slapping nerds, I guess. That's where I'm going with this one. Just because, wow. Some nerds do deserve to be slapped. And then we do see level 4s coming through. Things to know actually is we don't have Ruby picked up by Decade, but we do have Sapphire, then Rejuvenation Potions? Yep, where we also get the mana being brought back. Yes, 15 mana over a few seconds. Okay, I'm getting sick of that. And as we do see just that stacking, we do actually, because of all the kills that have happened so far, we're getting very close to a Soulstone on Diablo. Already over halfway there this early on is really truly something. And then I've just looked over at the right side and seen all the stacking that's happening. We do have that Drain build from Gul'dan coming out. Vala went that Spread Shot build for multi-shot? Multi-shot? Yes, multi-shot. And then Lions more from Varian. Yeah, and you're welcome to maximize your slap with physics as a nerd. That is some good stuff. Surface area does hurt sometimes. Anyway, we do see that top front camp being taken out quite quickly by the side of Phoenix. Rising Sapphire is now, as well now, the blue team is going to do their best just to clear the other side. Boomer turning in their gems, not wanting to dive it on. And things to note here, we do see that the blue team does have turn-in, red does not, as we do see if this is glowing like this bottom bit, as it's glowing here, that means they have turn-in. The red side's one does not, it means they don't have turn-in. It's just far better than me just going, okay, maths. I know what glowing things look like far better than me doing maths. I'm not good at it. Anyway, we do have sevens coming up very shortly. And once again, we do have Atlanta's AL kind of being bullied a bit by Geo. And bottom lane is Geo, I believe, did lean into that percent damage build once again. And it is showing off to do very well. Varian charged back in, did get flipped and charged by Boomer. Not Boomer, by Double. Won't go down. Nematode actually has to drop out. It's taking a lot of damage. We do have a lot of AoE damage from the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. His side piece with their Qs and Es, as well as Diffim with their Ws. Anyway, we are moving into that next phase. The first Weaver phase of the game, where is actually in FC Hong Kong's favor. But unlike how all the objectives last game were in the favor of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. As we do now see them pushing in that front gate and wanting to take buildings as quick as possible. However, will they abandon that Web Weaver now that the red team's showing up? No, Double L Dam is pushing in, does get taunted on the tower, gets a totem follow-up, does get actually pushed, meaning they are moving out of the range of it. Does take over half their health as an almost full Soulstone Diablo is, well, actually, yes, a full Soulstone Diablo as well, but will go down. Will not go down, sorry, rather. And meanwhile, bottom, we do still see Geo pushing in with the Web Weaver. Not quite wanting to play it risky, knowing that Varian comps, if they turn up, they will probably die. And yep, we do see Boomer did get very aggressive, looking to hurt some nerds. Once again, we're going to go back to the nerds. As well, yep, we are looking at a very aggressive plays now. Well, not so aggressive at the moment. Double L Dam is very much just doing that push one check. Boomer does do the right thing, does manage to get the Q off, meaning they aren't able to do anything. Double L Dam did get taunted under their towers, but will be backing out by charging that minion. What actually a very good heads up play by Diablos is when they do charge things like minions, like Nazebo walls, or anything else like that. Just because that is really your get out of jail free card in a lot of these instances, is charging further in doesn't mean you're going to live. And then we just kind of get this once again. Geo actually looking to break out into a fight here, but no, we see him backing out. Not quite worth their time, they've decided as well they don't want to die. And we do actually see Atlantis AL is trying to get hand in, will just get stalled a bit longer by Dax. Dax being into a situation you don't necessarily want to be in. Geo wanting to interrupt. Doesn't get the interrupt, doesn't in fact just get charged for it. Double L Dam gets charged onto Varian. Varian flipped and was cleansed for the meantime, meaning it's just kind of a waste of a cleanse, unfortunately, as Purge was used by the... my words are failing me today. I talk all day at my job, and now I'm just like, brain off, yet I'm just needing it on for just that bit longer. One map, maybe two, depending on how things go. Side B stepping up, wanting to get a little bit of Nematode juice. As well as both teams actually getting near, actually, I should say FC Hong Kong is getting near their second turn, and if they manage to get a second one before Phoenix Rising Sapphire can even get there first, that may be a bit of a unfortunate thing happening. And we do actually see Double L Dam moving Boomer away from the rest of their team. Boomer does actually manage to get out, but will not be able to find, they won't be able to find a counter engage kill. As it looks like actually the blue team, yep, is about to get handed once again. As now we just get a aggressive kind of hold. And there it is, that second turn, and for the side of FC Hong Kong, they've built a much better comp for this map than the last one, and it seems like it's far better fight for them this so far. Maybe, I don't know what Double's main tanks are. Maybe she's much more confident on the Diablo, and we can see that is kind of paying off here. Maybe Boomer was much more confident in Uberak, so that's why now that it's missing, it's not going as well. However, we see side piece actually drops the Rain of Vengeance. Double L Dam does push in, does a decent amount of damage for it, does drop that APOC. Doesn't quite find anyone different, does roll with them, making sure they're not hit by the APOC. Side piece stepping back in, actually will be the first to go down that fight. This is now Diffim and Kizzy both pretty low. Oh, that Web Weaver wave actually junked Diffim, barely holding on. They went down to, sub 100, maybe 50, maybe 40-ish range. It's definitely not ideal, and actually all of the meantime, Geo has been able to take bottom keep. This is looking very different to that first game, but I still think it can go either way. As a lot of main hero, these main power spikes for the right side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire. Those come in at roughly 13 for a lot of the team and 16 respectively for the Vala. And while the right side did have quite a few early power spikes between things such as Tychus and Sylvanas being strong early on, but not necessarily carrying over well into the later game. Thrall is a very good early to mid game bully with that percent damage build also kind of peaking around 16. But he will be much harder to kill now with his Frostwolf Resilience activatable up. And however, this should finally be a hand in for the nope. It's not, because Atlantis AL is a walking pinata currently. And hopefully they can survive just a bit longer to hopefully not lose the gems. And we do actually see that FC Hong Kong manages to take that bottom camp. Dollar Dam just getting up a bit faster than the rest of the team, deciding minions are their favorite form of transport. Red Weavers have been handed in. But however, the waves are so pushed out. And yeah, I'll bring up talents, don't worry. As we do see Feeding Advantage has come through, and actually I do like some of the pickups here from both teams. Mega Potions. I do think that Reign of Vengeance is a very interesting choice by Gul'dan, as we usually see the Horrify come out. And Boomer is actually taking a lot of damage thinking of that Wailing Arrow, meaning they weren't able to use any defensives. However, are able to back out safe enough. Atlantis AL and hit the stun onto double Ven, getting followed by a taunt, and they will go down. And that will be the necessary kill to kind of get the momentum spreads at one. Vala W, I can explain that one. Vala W is just in general a quite good talent, especially when you're having a lot of chaotic fights very close with both teams and an ARAM-esque style kind of fight structure you have around these objectives, around the Web Weavers. W can stack up very quick and helps clear lanes. It helps do a lot of AoE damage that Decade isn't known for being the best, and by no means I'd say that it is a bad talent. All the talents are actually relatively even, and I was ranting too much, and we do actually see that taunt variant coming out strong once again, as the charge from Blaze and the taunt from Boomer meant that FC Hong Kong lost their offlaner there. And there'll be a second Web Weaver in a row for the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire as well. We had a 2 in a row for FC Hong Kong. 2 in a row now for Phoenix Rising to return that favor. As we see, they're wanting that mid as well. Mid is actually one of the more important lanes in every map, just because it holds the key to vision. And we see Taunt coming out onto Double R Dam. Double R Dam doesn't quite go down, as we do have Blaze split from the rest, just wanting to make sure top does fall. Now we just have Boomer pushing up Diffin also there. And Sleep actually manages to get both Gul'dan and Variant. Silence Arrow comes out early, actually hitting 3 of them. Gul'dan getting hit by APOC. Boomer actually pushing up, does get the Ancestral healing out onto them. Bunker comes out to stop that route of engagement for the red team. And that will be them being stopped. That was a very good kind of usage of abilities there, meaning for just a compilation of slows. A bit brutal, however, the red team still actually has pretty good disengage. Red team does have Totem to get out. They do have Blaze, Sun, and Bunker. And those 2 tools alone are actually a lot to kind of make sure they can't get on top of, but still, there's still a lot of abilities that means it isn't the easiest for them to get out. And it looks like the blue team of SC Hong Kong went a hand in before there is another pick that they aren't quite wanting to get hit by. And actually it looks like Dax is choosing to wave clear. Decker not known for best wave clear. It may be much more on Geo's alley. However, they will be doing boss. Is it a pick? Is it the play? We'll find out. As they do actually have 16 advantage, so it may not be the best thing for what Phoenix Rising Sapphire want to push into. They instead choose to push in that bottom, so they are going to take that bottom lane. However, we do see Geo is on that point. That is a essentially free boss going over to the side of FC Hong Kong, as they didn't even need to really fight for it. They didn't need a man advantage. They were able just to get that comfortably, and we can see now the red team is having to back up to defend. And they will actually have a very good team to defend. Drain build Gul'dan as well as Vala still does a lot for it. But however, the blue team won't make this easy at all. Rain of Vengeance coming out, getting a good, decent amount of splash damage. As Black Arrows actually coming out from Tiny Notai, as they are going to push that up. And we do see now that that's getting a good siege onto mid. Sleep coming out, hitting 2 of them. Wailing Arrow only finding the Varian, as we do have that mid fort going down. Double L Dam going in, deciding maybe not the best idea. Nem and Toad was getting hit by a lot of that structure. Will be going down low, drop to sub 40 health. And that will be a structure going over the side for the blue team of FC Hong Kong. And actually, that is very good play. Now that they have a win condition top, Web Weavers going down will have to be prioritized for that top lane. That is now a win condition, and you can't just let a Web Weaver push into that, especially with its spider summons. And there we see Soulstone once again. I actually like the change they made to Diablo with the Soulstone, that you don't go down to 0 after 10s now. You go to the 25. And BJ and Co, thank you for the raid. Just doing a little bit of casting for an E-East game between FC Hong Kong and Phoenix Rising Sapphire. 1-0 so far, as Phoenix Rising did take that first map of Battlefield of Eternity. And now we are here for Tomb of the Spider Queen. As well, it is evenly matched so far. It does seem to be a bit more in the favor of FC Hong Kong so far, this map. However, there's nothing to sneeze at, as that is still a Varian blow-up comp that can very much get one late game pick and turn all that momentum on its head. And now we will get just some safe plays from both sides. As Bruiser Camp is now up for the blue team. The red team of FC Hong Kong, well, messed that one up. FC Hong Kong does have that camp available. They do also have Handon available, while Phoenix Rising Sapphire is still catching up in terms of soak, and well, gems. The spider butts themselves, the gems, as you can see here on each spider butt. Nope, Double managed to find a Varian, or well, Varian definitely did not find where they wanted to be. Does get the torn out. Double silence actually coming out, hitting both Rhaegar and Kizzy. Kizzy was silenced for long, however wasn't quite long enough, so Boomer did manage to get that ancestral healing put onto them before they were able to go down. Very close to getting that kill, but not quite enough. Double doing their best to stall. Geo is not in a good spot to hand in. Don't know if they'll actually be able to hand in here, and yep, they choose to back out. Thing is, Double's actually getting very low, because... Wait, where's Dax? There's Dax. I'm like, where is he with his potions? Where's the old man and his potions? Let him hand them in. As that is now Blue Web Weavers coming out for the side of FC Hong Kong. We're getting very close now, as we're actually getting into the late game in terms of what's happening, so I'm going to close this fight, and we'll make a note of what Storm Talents turn up when they do. However, Double is quite far ahead of the rest of the team. Boomer actually looking to get the stun out. There's the stun coming out first, Taunt coming out second, and there's Diablo going out third. And that is now a stun coming out from side pieces that Rain of Vengeance does actually manage to find Nementoad. I still don't know how to say that name, but Nementoad was managed to find that stun. However, as I said, just one kind of pick can turn the momentum on its head. We can now see that even though it is blue Web Weaver phase, they're not really wanting to step up. They don't have their front line of Diablo. Well, actually they do. Diablo was just out for that little bit too long, so they weren't able to get back in time to really push with that mid Web Weaver phase. I talked about Soulstone and then immediately forgot how it worked, because I just don't play Diablo at all. But yeah, Diablo is back. Sure, they're in a much weaker state, which means they are more susceptible to blow up now. Whenever, but we do see now that is Black Arrows coming out from Sylvanas, as they are now pushing in that keep. Excellent sleep by Dax, as it is now a double stun to follow up. Clean's coming out into Diffin, as they are finding a lot of damage. Actually, players will go down first. Double L Dam getting very low. Boomer got very low as well, but actually didn't go down. Thank you to that ancestral healing. And Tiny Notai did have to use... Oh, that was a stutter on my screen. Tiny Notai did actually have to use Bolt of the Storm to back out, or they would have also fallen there. And it looks like we actually have a core call coming out. Taunt comes out onto the Double L Dam. Double L Dam taking a lot of damage. Won't need to step back into a potion, but will not be able to. And that may be actually this kind of push squashed, as they're just going to heal up and call. And Nementoad wanting to get as much damage out as possible. Same for Geo, but they know they need to leave. And they are doing so. And that will be taunt. No, that will not be taunted. Blaze manages to get the dash. Boomer getting very low. Geo also getting very low. Will go down to that Vala damage as well as just the slow from Gul'dan. Gul'dan getting that slowed once again. Vala chasing them. They do have a move speed from their auto attacks. It's just the passive for that means they're slowly going down. And nope. They are not able to snowball that into a third and fourth kill. In fact, they were able to get 2. Was still very good for their defense as well. Their core was looking to be in a bit of a dire strait there. However, it is now a boss that the red team can't really defend. So they should... What I mean red team. FC Hong Kong can't really defend the blue team. So it should be interesting to see where we come from here. Especially as well, both teams actually have Storm Talents in now. So before the next fight breaks out, we can see that Stay a While and Listen picked up Respect the Elderly. Sorry, Decade picked up Respect the Elderly. Big Red Button by Tychus. Irvin Shielding? Irvin Shields from Thrall, Hellgate, and, well, Bolt of a Storm. But all of the meantime, we do have a backdoor call coming out. As we will see now, the blue team will see what they can do. But that is a very good response from Phoenix Rising Sapphire as they go back down there early. RKG Dax backing out. Actually, Howler Double L Dam will pop APOC just before they're taunted. Uses Hellgate to get out. Excellent Big Red Button hitting both Kizzy, Boomer, and Sidepiece. And there is that Earthseer's Blessing on the Ancestral Healing, just getting that AoE splash, making sure everyone is able to stay up and stay alive. Other things to see, we do have Burn Notice from Blaze, which is also an interesting pick. We do see, I don't know what this talent's called, Deep Impact from Gul'dan. So I just have never seen that talent picked up. I don't usually see, well, the Rain of Vengeance picked up in first, especially in NGS. Other things to note, we have Farflight Quiver on the Vala and Glory to the Alliance and Barry, and that healing bonus is going to come in a lot. Double O Dam doesn't get hit by the first initial stun, will get hit by the second. Does manage to get stunned to mean they stay alive a little bit longer. Nematode backs out. However, there is now Web Weavers and a camp coming over. Nematode goes down next, and it's kind of just as I've thought it would happen. They find one pick in the late game, and it starts snowballing, and you can see it happening. From there, Brawl wasn't winning for that fight, and that was a good route, meaning Geo won't quite get ran over by the Blaze Bus. That's not a term I should ever use again for this, just because... Oh no, I think it's on brand for Blaze Bus. Going to be just a new form of a line boss when I play Blaze. Well, found one trick account name that I may use later. Anyway, we do now have Core Call coming out. As that actually Web Weaver did drop quite early, but it's not something we'll be able to use to press in. Is that wave is so far back. Garden of Terror is where the plant terrors go up to where the enemy wave was. However, this map is where they drop where your friendly wave was. Boomer getting out as much damage as possible. Geo getting relatively low. Atlantis AL did actually have to use Bunker at the beginning of that fight because they were too low health, but managing to bring it back. Sylvanas goes down next, and that is still 5 members up for the side of Phoenix Rising Sapphire as Core is dropping to 50. That is going down quite rapidly now as all forts are down. Everything's on Core. GG Core by Dax, and that'll be the game. And the series going over to Phoenix Rising Sapphire. GG. As I'm going to throw it over to my game summary screen. If I have this right. And I really need to turn off in-game chat at some point. But that was a very good turnaround by FC Hong Kong, Phoenix Rising Sapphire, because FC Hong Kong was doing so well in the beginning of the game. But as I said, the key power spikes for Phoenix Rising Sapphire 13 and 16. And we see, as those were getting hit, we see they started to hit their stride. And they just got enough late game picks where the early game advantage that FC Hong Kong had didn't really matter in the end. But all in all, it was still a very good series. That last game, very, very close compared to the first. It honestly could have gone either way at the end. I'm wondering if Thrall was with them for the backdoor call, that maybe it would have been the blue team winning that map, and we would have gone to a map 3. However, that is a hindsight thing, hindsight being 50-50, you can't know for certain. Things to note here on this screen, however, Kizzy did a lot of healing, my word. But that, you saw the splash Ancestral at the end, is just an example. Ancestral healing does so much, but I believe they leant into that heal build. Yep, they did lean into the chain heals at 4 and 13, doing a decent amount. Other than that, we did see Vala did a lot of damage just with that W build cooldown with Drain Hope. Did a lot of siege. Still got a lot of damage for himself, so that is still pretty close between the two. Thrall still... Actually, I liked seeing Thrall for series a lot. That percent damage build meant they were able to bully the offlane very easily. Yeah, as it came to the late game, that Thrall build, very good up until 16, but when you get into the 20s range, there are other builds that are just a little bit stronger in the end. Anyway, I'll show talents just now, just to see if anyone's interested in any of the builds. Things to note, Blaze was just that standard offlane auto attack build, Vala W, cooldown Drain Hope. Varian went Q at 1, not something you've seen as often. You usually see Overpower, which is a 40% attack damage buff every time Varian parries an attack. Yep, that's what there is to note there. W thing, and everything else is relatively standard. The most interesting thing here to me is RKG Dax picking up Sapphire and Emerald, and not picking up Ruby or doing vice versa. Definitely an interesting build, but you can see that Sapphire used with Earthquake actually did a lot of slow in a few fights. However, that combo wasn't quite enough, and that will be the series going over to Phoenix Rising Sapphire as I go back over to my map view just to see how that went. As I click this button. Anyway, wonderful series by both sides. As we do see a 2-0 by Phoenix Rising. That second game, very competitive, despite kind of the first one looks like the side of Phoenix Rising was very comfortable, but the second game was definitely a well-fought series. Anyway, that is going to be it for me. So, to everyone who is here, thanks for coming along, Atlantis. It was a fun game to podcast, and I'd like to thank everyone who did watch live. Thanks. However, that will be it for me, the Lion Bus. You can find me here every now and again, casting NGS replays most of the time, because, well, this is late, to put it for most people, even though it's a casual evening for me. Anyway, I wish everyone a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are in the world, and I will see you all in the Nexus. Bye.